This conference will now be recorded.
Hi friends, in this Business Intelligence Master program. So in today's session, we are going to talk about Python introduction and we are going to talk about Python identifiers and keywords. Okay. So in today's session, we will learn Python introduction. Okay, what is Python, the advantages of Python, all those things. Then we will talk about Python history. Okay, Python futures. Okay. Next, we are going to talk about Python versions. What are the different Python versions we have? Then we are going to see how to write hello world program in Python. Then Python identifiers. Okay, so to like what is meant by Python identifier. Then I'm going to talk about Python keywords. What are the different keywords we have? What is the difference between identifier and keyword? You will come to know. With respect to the demo, you will see how to install the Python and what is the setup. Okay, so how to download this Python, how to install, how to use this Python, everything we will discuss. Then we are going to talk about Python identifiers. Practically, I will show you. Okay, even Python keywords also I will show you. So these are the things that we are going to discuss. Let's start with Python introduction. How many of you know Python, friends? How many of you know Python already? Okay, if you don't know, that's okay. See, try to understand. Python is a general purpose high level programming language. What is meant by high level programming language? So Python can be understandable by all humans. We are able to understand. So if humans are able to understand, if it is simply in English or some other native languages, that is called a human understandable language. Okay, so if it is something human understandable language, that is called a high level programming language. What is meant by low level programming language? Low level programming language means we are going like missions can able to understand, we cannot understand. Low level programming language means we need to convert these high level programming language into low level programming language, zeros and ones. How to convert? Let's say I have a word called Rama. I want to convert into zeros and ones. How to convert? Anybody know that? How many of you know ASCII? American Standard Code for Information Interchange, right? We have something that ASCII. Now we have a Unicode. That's why we are able to chat it in our native languages. Earlier we have ASCII, meaning only English letters can be converted into zeros and ones. But now we are able to chat it in our native languages, whatever language, Hindi, English, Hindi, Kannada, Telugu, Tamil, isn't it? So I'm not sure how many languages it is available, but most of the native languages now we are able to chat. The reason is now we have a something called Unicode. Unicode has defined for all the native languages, for Telugu, for what is meant by this, okay, how to convert this. We have Unicode for all the native languages. Okay, if it is the English, we have a ASCII. Okay, we can use ASCII or we can use the Unicode. Okay, but previously we have ASCII, but now we have a Unicode. Okay, try to understand. Here you come here, ASCII table. See what it is saying. Here you see. Click on this. So here for 0 to 9, okay, how to convert. In the same way you see have, what is this, see from here you can see, right? 0 to 1 and special symbols. We have some special symbols. I'm not sure how many of you are able to see. Let me just maximum it if it's possible. Yeah, now it is very clear now, isn't it? Now you see it's a space, okay, exclamatory. So all these are the like special characters we have. Then you have a numbers, okay, then comparison operators, then capital letters we have. You have again some special characters. We have small letters. So you can say I want to send it in a small letters or capital letters. Based on whatever you type it in same order it will go. So there is a difference between small a and capital A. Okay, if it is a capital A, it's a decimal value is 65. If it is a small a, the decimal value is 97. Okay, this is how. So if we want to send it like Rama. So what all values it has to add, and it will add and send it. So in the same way, when it goes there, it will just again, it will convert from low level language from zeros and ones to the high level programming language, that is English or whatever. Understood? Next, Python is an object-oriented interpreted language that's easy to use and runs on many operating systems, including Windows, Mac OS, Linux, and many more. Okay, so first here we have a multiple terms. Who is going to convert from high-level programming language to low-level programming language? Okay, so in any language, if you look at any language, what happens? You have a something called compilation. You are going to compile the data. Okay, what you are going to do? You are going to compile this data, isn't it? So when you compile this, high-level programming language code will be converted into low-level programming language. Okay, so now, but in Python, we are not going to compile it. In Python, we are not going to compile it. We have something called interpreter. Okay, interpreter is going to convert automatically whatever you are writing in English, that will be converted into zeros and ones immediately. Okay, that's why Python is an intermediate language. Okay, intermediate language. Next, object oriented. Python is object oriented, meaning for each and everything we can able to define a class. Inside a class, we can able to use some variables and functions, all those things we can able to define. But Python is not only object oriented, it's a procedural, meaning without writing any class. I'm not sure how many of you know what is class. So in Java or whatever you know, so we are going to define a class. It indicates the object. We are going to define the object. Okay. In the same way, Python can be you can use as a object oriented. You can use as a procedural. You can as a scripting language. You can use as a modular language. You can use as multiple ways. That's why Python is getting popularity. Okay. Now, and runs on many operating systems, including Windows, Mac OS, Linux, and many more. So you can able to run this particular Python code on any operating system. Okay, right now I'm using in Windows Mission. I have developed my Python program in Windows Mission. Okay, so same program, if I take it into another program, there also it will run. I don't have much idea, but if you remember, in some of the features will work in some mobiles, some features will not work in some other mobiles, isn't it? Okay. Uh, any such feature? Can you tell me, friends? Any such feature? Some features which will work only in some mobiles, some features will not work in other mobiles. You might have come across, right? So in the same way, whatever works in Windows, it will not work in Mac OS, it will not work in Linux previously. But now what happened? It's everything is a platform independent. Java is also platform independent, but if it is C, C++, those are a platform dependent. If you develop the code in Windows operating system, meaning in my computer, only in Windows computers only it will run. If it is a Linux operating system, it will not run. If it is a Mac OS, it will not run. Okay, that's how the problem. But Python is a platform independent. You can develop code in any operating system. You can run it on anywhere. Next, Python supports basic data types such as numbers, strings, as well as more complex types like list, dictionary that can greatly simplify data processing. See, we have data organized into named columns. Named columns means, let's say, customer ID, customer name, customer location. These are column names. Customer ID is the integer, customer name is a string. So that's so it will be easy for you to process your data. You know that all customer IDs are the number, all customer names are the strings. So based on that, you know what to do, how to process this data. It will be easy for you to process data. In the same way, in Python also we have different data types which will enable you to process data in very simple manner. Yes, see, Python supports basic data types such as numbers, strings, as well as more complex types like list, dictionary that can greatly simplify data processing. Don't worry, data types we are going to discuss tomorrow session. Next, Python also supports several programming paradigms and can be used procedural programming, functional programming, and object-oriented programming. As I mentioned at second point, right? So Python you can use as an object or you can use as a functional, procedural, object-oriented programming language. Okay, so what each one means we will discuss. Okay, so functional programming means you are going to just define the functions. Procedural means you are going to just define the procedures. Okay, object oriented means you are going to define something called a class. Don't worry, I will just discuss those things. Next, data in Python is strongly typed. So attempting to add a number and the string will give an error. Okay, example, because Python is strongly typed, what it means is, let's say I'll just give you example, because if I simply give everything like this you may confuse. Okay, you need to tell me these examples. 1 plus 1, what is the value I will get? Tell me. 1 plus 1, friends, what I will get? 2.
We'll get
1 plus 1. You know, this one is the integer, this one is a string. What I will get here? You know, you will get a error. In Python, you will get a error. The reason for this is, you will get a error. The reason for this is, okay, it is a string. This is an integer. You cannot add string type to the integer. String means you are considering as a name, right? Name you cannot concat with the number. That is the restriction in Python. That's it's a strongly typed. But if it is a if it is not strongly typed, what it can do? One is anyhow number actually, but it is defined as a string. It can automatically typecast. It will convert the string type to the integer and it will add these two and it will give you 2. Okay. If it is not strongly typed, it will give 2. If it is strongly typed, that's why it is giving this particular error. Is it clear?
yes, Malaya.
Okay. Next. Despite its ease of use, it's also very powerful language. Python is a very powerful language. It is very easy to use, but it is also very powerful language. It's one of the 3 official languages at Google. So at Google, they have some official languages. Okay, these are the official languages that we need to use for most of the programming or most of the applications. So in Google, Python is the one of the 3 official languages. Okay, out of 3 official languages, we have a Python. Then you can able to understand how much powerful Python it is. One thing to note is that Python team decided to break backward compatibility when creating the Python 3. What it means is, we have a Python different versions. Python 1, Python 2, Python 3. But actually in any software you develop, whenever you implement a new features, those features should support the previous versions. Okay, previous versions plus some extra features you are going to implement. But what Python team is decided is, Python 2 features may or may not work in Python 3. They already confirmed, because there are a lot of performance issues in Python 2. So they have improved all those performance things in Python 3 and they completely break it. Okay, so that's why mostly now, like, Python 2 is already decommissioned at 2020 January itself. It is decommissioned. So we should not use Python 2 from January 2020, but this is like 1 year already over. So nobody is using Python 2 now. So everybody is using Python 3. Okay, so we are going to use a Python 3 only. We are completely focusing on a Python 3 only. Next, although it's still very similar to Python 2, there is no guarantee. There is no longer guarantee that Python 2 program will work with Python 3 interpreter. You understood? Python 2 features may not work in Python 3. Try to understand this point. Okay, very important. Okay, any questions before I go to the Python history? Okay, Python history. You see, Python is recommended as first programming language for beginners. Okay, Python is recommended as the first programming language for beginners because it is very easy for you to learn. So that's why this is the language which is recommended or suggested for the beginners. Whoever want to learn software, like many people might came across this particular question, right? Which language to learn first? So you can recommend directly to learn a Python because they won't feel like, okay, software means it's very difficult and all these things. It will be easy. But if you ask, because when I was fresher, I have taken a training, right? So that time what happened is many people they joined Java. After a few days they just left. The reason is they felt very difficult. Okay, Java is really difficult to understand. The reason is you will have a lot of classes which are defined. You need to understand how these classes defined, what functions we have in those classes, what these functions are going to return, how we need to use in our subsequent or child classes, inheritance, all these things, internal things, they may not be able to understand. And one more thing is object creation, all those things, a lot of confusion at the beginning. Okay, so but if you look at the Python, it will be very easy. So you don't need to write class, main method and all those things in Python. If you want to write a hello world program, simple. But in Java, you need to write a class, main method, then you need to write a system.out.println to print hello world. It's very difficult. Okay, so that's why first anybody who is interested in coding, they should go for the Java. But whoever, yeah, so I want to avoid the coding, but yeah, I will try to learn the code. So then they can start with the Python, because Python is very popular language. Okay, try to understand. But if you have any worry about coding, you can learn Python, because you won't feel like you are writing a code in Python. So simply you are just playing with something. Okay. Next, Python was developed by Guido van Rossum in 1989 while working at National Research Institute at the Netherlands. So he was Guido van Rossum in 1989. He developed this Python in a Netherlands. Okay, I'll just show his name, his face. Okay, see, here's the one. He is the guy who developed Python. Okay, he's the guy who developed Python. See, best known as the creator of the Python programming language. Understood? He is the one who developed this particular Python in 1989. Next, but officially Python was made available to public in 1991. In 1991, these people made available this Python to the public. The official date of birth for Python is Feb 20th, 1991. Okay, 1991, this particular Python is available to the public in 1991 also. Next, Python futures. The main advantages of the Python we will see: simple and easy to learn. Anybody can able to learn. Even 10th class students can learn this particular Python very easily. Okay, they won't feel like they are learning some language. Okay, so it will be very easy for them to learn. Simple and easy to learn. Next one is freeware and open source. Freeware means you no need to pay single rupee for Python. Completely free. You can install and you can use it. One thing. What is open source? Open source means whatever Python code which is written by Guido van Rossum, that code you can able to download. And if you want to implement some more performance tuning you want to do, those things you can able to improve that particular code. Open source, whatever code they have written, that code is available to the public. We can able to access that particular Python code, and if you want to develop further from the code that is developed by Guido Van Rossum. So whatever code is developed by Rossum, this person code you can take and you can further develop if you want. That is nothing but open source. It is open to the public. Next, high level programming language we just discussed. High level means humans can able to understand. Platform independent, whatever code you develop in Windows machine, that can be run it in Mac OS, Linux and other operating systems. Dynamically types. Okay, so you remember whenever we are defining a table, whenever we are creating a table, whenever I am creating the columns. So how I have created the columns, can you tell me? CID, after CID what I have mentioned? comma
type
cname.
of the
After
data.
that, what I mean? What is that?
Data type.
Data type. Very good. I mentioned a data types. I mentioned a data type. Understood. So here in Python, you no need to define any data type. Okay. You no need to define any data type. Data types are going to infer dynamically. Data types are going to identify dynamically from the data. So for the CID column, if you are given 1, 2, 3, it will treat it as a number. If you are given 1, 2, 3 Rama, you have a string, so it will treat it as a string. So these particular data types will come dynamically. Those data types will come dynamically in Python. I will show you those things today itself. Both procedural or procedure oriented and object oriented, meaning you can write the classes if you want to write the classes. If you don't want to write the classes, you don't need to write the classes. But when we will go for the classes is, if you want to use any inheritance properties means same thing I want to use in a child classes. We have something called inheritance. So those inherit, if you want to inherit some of the properties from the parent classes, then you need to go for the, so basically object oriented programming features we have. So if you want to use those features, you can just go for the object oriented. But one of the main feature is inheritance and object oriented. We have encapsulation, polymorphism and other things we have, but mainly inheritance is the main thing. Interpreted, as I mentioned, if you want to convert high level programming to the low level programming language, what we need to do, we need to compile it. But Python, we don't need to compile. The reason is we have an interpreter which is going to convert this high level programming to the low level automatically. Okay, these are the features. Not only these, there are some more features we have, so we can just remember, because these features will not help you anyway. Just you need to have some idea. Okay, Python is powerful because of all these features. Okay. Next, Python versions. See, Python 1.0, you have 2.0, we have a Python 3.0 introduced in December 2008. Okay, we have Python 3, which is introduced in December 2008. 2000, 1 second. Yeah, in 2008 only. Okay, Python, 1 second. I just wanted to double check on this. Yeah, in 2008 only. Okay, December 3rd in 2008, Python 3 is introduced. Okay, so from 2008 onwards, we have a Python 3. But if you use Python 3, then Python 1, Python 2 features may not work in Python 3 because the backward compatibility they have removed. Right. Next, note, Python 3 won't provide backward compatibility to Python 2. That is, there is no guarantee that Python 2 program will run in Python 3. Okay, that is the main thing that you need to remember. In here, we are going to completely focus on Python 3. Okay. Next, hello world program in Python. See, you can write print hello world. You can write print hello world in double quotes, single quotes, triple double quotes, triple single quotes. This is the easiest way to print the hello world program in Python. But you can also use classes. So that is, again, you need to define a class. Then you need to define any function. Inside function, you need to define the print statement. So in Java and Python will be same if you go with classes. But this is the easiest way to print hello world program in Python. See, print hello world, maybe in double quotes, single quotes, triple double quotes, triple single quotes you can use. Okay. Next, Python identifiers. Okay. So from here you need to focus, because from here things are very, very important that you are going to use. Okay, that we are going to use in our day-to-day Python programming. Okay, please focus from now. So whatever we discussed as of now, those are just a theory part that you may remember, may not remember. Those things, even if you're not remember, it will not affect you anyway. Okay, it will not create any effect on you. So, but from now you need to understand. Okay, fine. Now we have this particular something called identifier. So for all the humans, we are going to give this some name. Why? To identify each person uniquely. In the same way, in Python, identifier is a name. Identifier is a name to identify. What you want to identify? You may identify a class, you may identify a variable, you can identify a function. Okay, you can identify anything with the help of some identity. That is nothing but a name. Okay, Python identifier is nothing but exactly names in Python. Names. Why you need names to identify uniquely something? See, Python identifier is a name used to identify a variable, function, class, module, or other objects. What is variable? A equal to 10. Okay, A equal to 10. So I have assigned value 10 to the A. Okay, I have assigned value 10 to the A. That is nothing but A is a variable. Next we have a function. So to define a function, I will show you how to define the function, but def, I'm going to use some def and I will give name. Class also class and I will give some name. Module also module, some name I will give. Now you see how to define these variables functions. You see, if it is a variable, name equal to Cloud Pandit. Here name is a identifier. In this, name is a identifier. Next, functions, how to define function. Def Cloud Pandit pass. Here Cloud Pandit is a identifier, meaning can you tell me what is identifier name? So now I need to understand what is the function name. Can you tell me what is the function name? We understood name is a Cloud Pandit. What is the function name? Cloud Pandit, because this name you used in a function, that's why it became a function name. Here name is which name it is? Variable name, because this you are using as a variable. Now class, my class pass. My class is a identifier. My class is identifier means my class is a name. So which name it is? What is the class name here? Class name is a my class. Is it clear to all of you? I can spend some more time, but you should be able to understand this.
Yes, Mallya.
Okay. Now see, for humans, when you are giving the name, you will decide a lot of factors in the same way. A lot of things you are going to take care when this like this kid has taken the birth and some stars and other things they will take care, right? Astrology, some lot of things you will take care to decide the name. Maybe your liking God name you will just take and you will decide the name, isn't it? So now in the same way, when you are defining the variable name, when you are defining the function name, when you are defining the class name, we have some limitations. How to define these names? We have some limitations. Okay, I will discuss about those things. See, an identifier created with a letter capital A to Z or small a to Z or digits 0 to 9 or an underscore. Okay, you need to use only these letters to create your identifier. Understood? With this, can you tell me, is it possible for me to create a name dollar? Name dollar. Is it possible? Dollar is not available in this particular letter. That's why name dollar is not recommended. Underscore name. Is it possible? Yes, underscore name is possible because we have an underscore. Name ampersand symbol, end symbol, name ampersand, is it possible? No, because the ampersand is not available. So that's how you need to have a only capital A to Z, small a to Z, 0 to 9 letters only in your names. Next, identifier should not start with the digits even though numbers are allowed. Okay, name 1 equal to Cloud Pandit, name 2 equal to Rama, name 3 equal to Sai, something like that you can give, but you should not give 1 name equal to Cloud Pandit, 2 name equal to Sai, 3 name equal to Cloud Pandit, something like that you should not give. Number should not, okay, your identifier should not start with number. Third, we cannot use reserved words as identifiers. Reserved words are identifiers. How many of you know? How many of you know what is if? If is having any predefined meaning in any programming that you know? Yes, remember some of the words are a keywords. Okay, some of the words are a keywords. Can you give a name to somebody street? Can you give a name, somebody name as a street? You should not give. The reason is street is already a predefined meaning. So it indicates some place, isn't it? So that's why street name you should not give to the people names. Okay, you should not use street as a name to the person. The reason is street is having a some predefined meaning. In the same way, in any language you consider, we have some predefined meanings which you should not use as a name. What are those? Those are nothing but a keywords. What are those keywords? We will discuss, but we have total some 35 keywords. We have 35 or 36, I did not remember, because in recent versions they kept adding the new identifiers. Oh, sorry, new keywords. Those new keywords are reserved words, both are same. So I will just show you those reserved words and keywords. Next, Python does not allow punctuation characters such as @ dollar, percentile within the identifier. Within the identifier, we should not use @ dollar, percentile within the identifier. Okay. Python is a case sensitive programming language. So try to understand this, friends. Lot of errors will get just because of this. Python is a case sensitive programming language. The reason is if you say when you are comparing, you have A and A, both are A only, but one A is capital, another A is small, then there will be a problem. Both are not equal to. Okay, you need to understand that. It's a case sensitive program, case sensitive. So when you are comparing and whatever you are doing, both case also should match. Next, Python identifiers. You see, can you tell me out of which one is valid, which one is not valid? I will not go anywhere until you answer. So please try to answer. Which are valid,
Only
which are not?
def and
Which one only
account number.
account number is valid or invalid?
It's a double underscore, so it is not valid, invalid. Only def and name is valid, and Cloud Pandit is valid underscore.
Def is a valid. Next one is
Name, the first one.
okay. Name is valid. Def is valid. What else? Pawan, first can you just go on? So can you tell me one by one which one is valid, which one is invalid? I will ask few people. So let's go one by one. Tell me who understood.
arg1.
Name is?
Name def arg1 is valid, rest everything is invalid.
Name, arg and def are the valid.
Yeah.
Okay. So try to understand. Name is valid, that most of you know. And this is also valid. Why it is not invalid? Because underscore is allowed. Underscore can be anywhere. I have not said underscore you should not have at the beginning, right? So you can have an underscore. That's why this is also valid. Second one. Third one is also valid. Fourth one is invalid. The reason is you should not start your identifier with a number. I started with number, so that's why it's invalid. Next, when it comes to this one, Cloud Pandit, so A is a @ the rate symbol is not allowed in identifier. That's why first rank is invalid, Cloud Pandit is invalid. Def is also invalid. Why? What might be the reason? Can you guess it?
Keyword.
Keywords.
Yes, it's a keyword, friends. It's a keyword. That's why this is a not allowed. Underscore account number, account number. So this is also valid. The reason is this is a double underscore. That's fine, because you're just starting this particular identifier with a double underscore. That's all. Okay, fine. Let's move on. See, now you see valid, invalid. Understood? These three are invalid. Apart from that, everything else is a valid. Now Python identifiers, you try to understand. If identifier starts with underscore symbol, then it indicates that it is a private. So you are providing some security to your variable. Okay, nobody can able to access if it is a private. Okay, If identifier starts with 2 underscore symbols, indicate that strongly private identifiers. We have a private and strongly private things. Okay. Whoever want to take this particular variable out of that particular file, they cannot able to even access from out of that particular file. If it is a underscore private, other people cannot be able to access from other files, but whoever is accessing by importing this particular notebook, whoever is accessing, they can able to access these things. Okay, so I will show you where this private and strongly private will be useful. So I don't want to show some username and password to other people, then you can use them as a some private so that nobody can able to see those things. Next, if the identifier starts and ends with a 2 underscore symbols, see, you may have a identifier which is going to start with the 2 underscores, ends with 2 underscores. Okay, if the identifier starts and ends with 2 underscore symbols, then the identifier is a language defined special name, which is also known as the magic methods. Okay, magic methods, remember. So if anything, any identifier is starting with 2 underscores, ending with 2 underscores, those are called a magic methods. Those are called a magic methods. Okay, try to understand. Next, Python keywords. In Python, some words are reserved to represent some meaning or functionality. Such type of words are called reserved words. See, these are the total reserved words which we have. So how many we have? As I mentioned, 35, right? Yes, we have, I think you see a 7 into 5, 7 5 are 35, but we have one more is added in recently. So we have total 36. In recent version, there is one more keyword added. So we have total 36. Here I mentioned 35 because by the time when I was preparing this document, so we have only 35. But in recent versions, I see one more keyword added. Okay. Okay, these are the slides I have. So as part of demo, we are going to do two things. One is we are going to, I will show you how to install Python. Second thing, I will just show you some of the examples for your identifiers. Then I will show you some of the examples for your keywords. Okay, fine. Let's move on. Come here. See here, how to install Python. Very simple. Python.org. Okay. First, how to install is come to this website, go to download. Okay, click on Python 3.9.1. Click on this. So it will download. Okay, it will just download. But I already is having Python latest version only. I was having, see, Python 3.9 only. I am having. Okay, I'm having that Python 3.9 only. So once you download, what you need to do, just see, open it. For me, it won't install because it is already installed. I guess. See, we have two things: upgrade now, and you have a customized installation. You just click on this. Oh, for me, it came upgrade. The reason is I'm having already 3.9, so it is 3.9.1, so it is upgrading. For you, it will ask in a different option. It will ask. Don't select customize. You select other options which you are getting. Otherwise, let me do one thing. Let me just cancel this. Let's go to programs and features. Go to programs and features. I will tell you from the beginning. See here, I have a lot of Python installations available, isn't it? You see Python 3.9, Python 3.8, Python 3.74. So let me just uninstall all those things one by one. So I need to uninstall. Let's wait for some time. Okay, even if you want to uninstall something, this is how you can able to uninstall. Okay. Let it uninstall so that I will show you how to install freshly the latest version. So Python 3.7.4 is uninstalling now. It will not take more time. It will just take 2-3 minutes. So let's do that one by one. Yes. So it is uninstalled. You just close it. So let's uninstall the 3.8.5 now. So let's wait once again. That installation got failed, right? That one. Yes, this is also finished. Now, yeah, final one. Let's uninstall this. See Python 3.9. Yeah, that's okay. Python launcher. Let me just uninstall this. So why this is not okay? No installation found. Then Oh, it is not installed. Then okay, fine. So now you just downloaded that, right? Let me just go to the download folder. In download folder, you just click on this. Today only we downloaded, right? See Python 3.9.1, this one. Double click on that. Double click on the txt file. See upgrade now or customize installation. Okay. So why it is asking again upgrade? The reason is that 3.9 is partially installed. Okay. Now just click on that. We'll see. For you, it will ask in a different way, but for you, you will get one more option called add the path to the system variables. One option will come at the down. You just check that particular option and try to install it. You will be able to install. Okay. So just it will be very few clicks, 2 or 3 clicks you need to do. But don't forget to say add Python path to the system variables. So setup was successful. You can just close it. Now I need to open this Python to execute my commands, right? So one of the easiest way to execute Python commands is like this. Okay, just search for Python. Okay, you will see something called here Python. Okay, so just click on this. Sorry, only one time you need to click. See here, you got this, right? See here, what you can do, you can execute all your commands. This is the easiest way. So there is another way is you can able to execute your Python files. So those Python files how to execute, I will discuss tomorrow, but not tomorrow. Few days it will take, maybe on day after tomorrow to discuss. Today you see a equal to 10. I am not saying int a equal to 10, isn't it? It will throw error because it's a dynamically typed, meaning you don't need to define the type. Now I want to understand what is the data type of variable a. It is integer. Now for a, same for a, I'll just use the name. Okay, Rama. So what is the data type of this type of a? You will tell str string. Okay. Now if I say a equal to 10.54. What is the type of a? So based on the value, the data type will be decided. Okay, this is one thing. Next, it's a dynamically type. Next, we need to talk about identifiers, right? See, identifiers. Name equal to 10. Is it correct or wrong? It's a correct. Identifier name is correct. Next, underscore name equal to 10. Is it correct or not? Yes, correct. Dollar name equal to 10. Is it correct or not? It is
No.
wrong. It's invalid. Next, name 1 equal to A. Is it valid? Yes, valid. Name 2 equal to B. Is it valid or invalid? Valid. Okay. Next. Next, what else I wanted to do? Let's say import equal to 1. Is it valid or invalid? It is invalid. The reason is import is a keyword. Remember, import is a keyword. So if you need any help, right? So you can just say help. So here you just type keywords to see all the keywords. See, this is the new keyword which is added. Underscore, underscore, peg, underscore, parser, underscore, underscore. Okay. You see here you have 7, I think 9, right? 9 4 36. We have 9 9 9 9 9 4 36, but I just mentioned 35 in our slides. Okay, underscore. This is the extra one. Okay, right. These are the keywords. You see, out of which we have if or not. You check it. Yes, if is there. Out of which we have import or not. Import. Where is import? See import. Try, while, with, yield, return, rise, pass, or not. All these are the keywords. Okay, you should not use these as a your identifiers. Okay. How to quit from this? It's closed. There should be a command to close this. Okay, again open the command. Okay, here I am. Now you have seen some of those things, right? Now you see, I will give you a few more examples. Is it a valid or invalid? Is it a valid or invalid?
Right.
Valid or invalid?
Invalid.
Invalid. Okay, this is the invalid. Very good. Next. Is it valid or invalid?
Invalid.
Invalid.
Okay. Is it valid or invalid?
Invalid.
Sir.
Okay, it is also invalid. Is it a valid?
Valid.
Valid. Okay, it is a valid. Okay, remember. Valid or invalid?
Valid, sir.
Valid. Okay. Underscore name. Valid or invalid? It is also valid. It is being valid. Okay, now you see underscore. Okay, main underscore equal to Rama. So what it will give is it will give false. Oh, it is not giving false. 1 second. So, but basically, oh sorry, this is not the one. Wherever you see something like this, these are what? These are a magic commands. Okay, these are a language specific. Okay, these are language specific. I'll just see. You can also print underscore name underscore. It is giving Rama. Okay, let me just restart this. How to restart is we have a something called a restart. From OS module we have okay, so those things are not available. That's okay. We can just do one thing. These are identifiers, right? You understood these things. One thing I wanted to show you. One second. Let's start it because you already assigned. That's why there you will not get it. But here let me just check it. So what I'm getting here when I say underscore name underscore, I have not assigned anything called underscore main underscore. You understood? So these magic commands will have already some meaning. But if you have assigned something like this, okay. So now you see from now onwards, what it will do, it will just give Rama. But if you say, if you're not saying anything underscore name underscore equal to Rama, if you're not assigning, by default it is giving main. So likewise, wherever you see double underscore starting and ending, for these things we have some special meaning. Okay, we have few things. Those identifiers are having a special meaning in Python. Okay, those indicates from where your execution is happening, whether your execution is happening from a direct to file or you are executing from somewhere else. Example, I developed the code. Maybe you are calling my code from your file. So then it's not a direct execution, right? It is not executing from the main file. It is executing from somewhere else. Then in that case, it will not give main. In that case, it will tell, okay, this is executing. This is the code which is there in a Cloud Pandit file. So this code is executing from the Cloud Pandit. That's how it will give. Suppose this is a my file, I am executing my code, then it will give main. So that is the meaning of these magic commands. We have a special meaning of these magic commands. Those things we will see. Okay, so this is how we are going to use the identifiers and keywords. Okay, you got some idea. So I just want to repeat once again, the limitation or restrictions is, you can say first, your identifier name should starts with capital A to capital Z or small a to small z or 0 to 9, and it should be a underscore, and identifier name should not start with number. Okay, should not start with numbers. And finally, keywords you should not use as identifiers. Okay, so these are the three conditions or limitations that you need to understand. These are the three conditions that you need to follow whenever you are defining the identifier. Okay, clear? So for today, please remember these 3 points and just pin in chat window. These 3 are important. So once you understand these 3, okay, so you can able to understand the other stuff, because tomorrow we are going to talk about data types. Data types means everything I will assign A equal to 10, A equal to list, A equal to set. So all those things I'll just quickly assign. So when you assign, you should be able to understand whether this identifier name is correct or not. Okay. Clear? Yeah, that's all for today, friends. Okay. Thank you all. Thank you. Any questions? If no questions, that's all for today. Thank you.